Good morning to you. I trust you had a wonderful night rest. Well, the first pair I want to be looking at this morning is EURAUD. And if you remember what has been happening on this pair since last week, I guess, we had multiple entries on this pair on the downward trend, and we're already in over 200 to 300 pips in profit on this one. However, running through my favorite pairs this morning, I got a glimpse into what is happening on the Hero AUD, and I think I can cite a trading opportunity on this pair, and I felt it necessary that I share this publicly. To have a quick recap on the scenario we painted on the Hero AUD, during the course of last week's trading session, we identified this reversal pattern on the daily time frame where we saw something like this, and we were looking forward to a breakout of that structure, which will be in the form of a signal, after which we take advantage of a trend continuation to the upside. During the course of last week trading session, we actually saw that signal come like this. We saw that breakout, and it appears you can see the impulse leg, and it appears price has come into structure right around this area. And the big question right now is that, are we going to be having a trend continuation to the upside from this area, which will probably be a confirmation of the reversal structure we identified earlier? However, before I go further into this, it is worthy to state here that looking at structures on the daily time frame, it's obvious that we are on a downtrend. As you can see, since last year, we were on a downward trend before this massive expansion happened in February. So now with these details we have here at this point, allow me to delete this. Scaling down to a lower time frame in the 4 hours time frame, what we have here on the 4 hours time frame looks more like an ascendant channel. As you can see this highlighted with that green trend lines you can see on this time frame. You can see our price has been moving since the beginning of April. We saw that breakout of structure around this area, and we saw a retest into structure, a retest into that bullish trend line, and we found another resistance around this area where we saw a double top structure, which is more of a very strong reversal pattern at this point. Now that we have a breakdown of that structure, I mean the double top structure, it is necessary that we look for a retest of structure for confirmation to join a potential decline in price action. As we can see, price appears to have been finding lower low since the retest of structure. So now with this information in hand, it is appropriate that we look at this impulse leg to work with, where we will probably be looking forward to a retracement into the golden zone area around somewhere around here, after which we look for structures that will support a trend continuation to the upside, or probably price come to retest this bearish trend line which was broken during the first week of this month around this area. So normally we will be expecting price to do a retracement into this area, which also, if you look closely, shares a confluence with that bullish trend line at this point. So we will be looking forward to something like this, probably into this trend line to retest the trend line that was broken, and also shares a confluence with that bullish trend line, where we look for structures that support a trend continuation to the upside to join the rally continuation. However, since we expected price to come and do a retest of this confluence here, then the possibility that we'll still have around how many pips is that to catch before the bullish move happen is we have like almost 200 pips move to catch before the bullish move finally happens. However, with this one being said, is it appropriate we take a sell at this point, or probably we look for buying opportunities from this area considering the retest of the reversal pattern we identify on the daily time frame? So if I bring out my line chart, I want to look at this retracement phase, how it has been going. We really need to study it to see how the market has been moving during this retracement phase, and if we can possibly spot a possible move that will incite a move to the upside, or probably we still want to see, probably we're still going to be seeing price moving further down. So bringing out my line chart at this point, and we use a trend line to and run through the beginning of that retracement phase, we will definitely have something like this, something looking more like this. And with this, we have our bring back our candle chart, then readjust the trend line to align with what structure is giving us right now. We're definitely seeing something like this. We can see price continue to respect that trend line, even though we had something that looked more like a false breakout of that trend line at this point. However, if you look closely into that false breakout, it's what it evolved into something we call the double top structure, which is more of a reversal pattern. And we saw price continue to we saw price break out of that structure, retest again, respected that trend line one more time, went back, found a lower low, and right back at this place. Since yesterday afternoon, we've been seeing multiple rejection of the trend line at this point. Now, with this multiple rejection at this area, within this area, within that area, it is it will be more accurate to be thinking of a possible bearish momentum could be building up right now, as we want to be looking for price to come into that, to retest that trend line that was broken earlier, to probably incite that trend continuation to the upside that we are looking for. So scaling down to a much lower time frame, let's say the 1 hour time frame at this point, to see how price has been moving so far, then we will see that since the beginning of yesterday's trading session, we saw this move. We, s- Before that, we saw this move down. We found a lower low. Then price did an impulse move into that trend line, whereby forming something that looks more like a reversal pattern at this point, where which also respected that trend line, which you can see on the charts as a red line here. Now, at this point, for confirmation that the trend is continuing to the downside, we want to be looking for a breakout of structure, which will give us a signal, then a retest into structure, which will give us confirmation, where we look for structures that confirm that price is actually going bearish. So if we zoom in to what structure has been given us since yesterday, we will definitely see something like this. We saw this move to the upside. We saw something that looks like a double top structure. Then we want to look for a breakout of structure, retest into structure, and a trend continuation to the downside. So if you allow me to bring out my line chart at this point, and let's identify the neckline right around this area, definitely we will, and if we look left, we see that we have a structure to work with at this point. So the neckline around this point will also be serving as our key level going forward into the new day. And If we look, we have our key level at a golden zone. We give it a golden color, and then we have our key level right around 1.5 area, which is also a very strong psychological level. So allow me to give this a label so that we can have a visual clarity on what we are talking about at this juncture in the market. So if we have this around here, and then we have a key level at 1.5 area, which is also a very strong psychological level. So now that we said we saw a reversal structure around this area, we saw sharp rejection of that trend line. Sorry, we saw a reversal pattern. We saw sharp rejection of that trend line. We saw price move into that 1.5 area, which is our neckline at this point. Then price went further up into that trend line. In this case, a lower high. Then we saw that breakout during the course of I think the morning session, and then we saw price do a retest into this area. So now the retest of structure now might not be complete yet. We still need to see further confirmations in the form of probably a reversal structure or structures, or probably price might going back into the trend line. We look for a breakdown of this key level, then we look for retest, after which you might be able to join the decline to the downside. So in this regard, despite the fact that we were expecting a bullish momentum on the daily time frame based on the reversal pattern we identified on the daily time frame, if I will remind you, if I bring back my daily time frame here, I said the breakout of structure of this reversal pattern was confirmed during last week trading session. That is this breakout here, this breakout of the reversal pattern, and probably we are probably seeing a retest into this level and move to the upside. But structures on the lower time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, is giving us a clue into a possibility that might actually, sorry, price might probably come into this level before we see that move to the upside. So at this point in time, it is necessary that we look for selling opportunities at this point to anticipate that bullish move. So what I'm looking forward to at this point is I've placed a pending order right at 1.49752, where I'm hoping that price will move into my entry point as we have a take profit target at that retest of that trend line that we saw that was broken on the 4 hours time frame. So if you allow me, I would like to share with you my short position, what my short position is going to be looking like from this point. So with an entry point here, I have a take profit target at 1.483, which is around 145 pips take profit target. And the reason why I have my take profit target around this area, even though we were expecting that price might actually come into this trend line, remember we're expecting a reversal pattern already, and it is possible that price might not even get as far as that before we see that move to the upside. So why is my take profit target around here? Remember, we have an impulse leg at this point, and I'm looking to project this impulse leg into the future, where I'm expecting something to be like this. So for more clarities, for more specific detail, we have more extension to run through that impulse leg, and we aim at the 1 to 7.2% retracement of extension of that impulse leg, which falls around that area. So now that we have this information in hand, and we're expecting that bearish move, it is pertinent that we know the significance of this key level at this point. And the reason why I said this is that we can see how it has held structure since last week trading session, and we saw how this became a support level here, a support level here. It was broken a little bit here, and it was broken out off at this point. It was a support level here at one time before it became a resistant level. Then at this point, you can see it's serving as a neckline of our reversal pattern around this area. So this key level now shall be guiding our action going into the UK and New York session. So after looking at this closely, we will be having our stop loss around 50 to 55 pips. And there is one thing I also want to state here at this point. Despite considering a sell opportunity on this one, it is it will be worthy of me to state here that the possibility of a bullish momentum is also very visible at this point. And that can only happen if we see a breakout of that trend line. Once we see a breakout of that trend line, then that means this double top structure has been negated. And then we want to be looking forward to a retest of that trend line, or probably a retest of that key level for a trend continuation, and looking for structures that support a trend continuation to the upside. So if this happens, then definitely we want to switch our buyers to a buy opportunity where we will be looking for entries right above this level after the confirmation is done. So at this point, I would like to pause the video, and I will definitely keep you posted on what is going to be happening in the market as price action is being monitored. Always check in the comment section on my TradingView account for these time to time updates. Thank you for watching, and do have a wonderful day. Bye.